We're gonna be starting soon. Let's see what's gonna happen. I'm doing a test with another phone that I have. So let's go. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Roosevelt Vargas back again here in Orlando, Florida with our books. Today we're going to be with chapter 11 of Atomic Habits. Okay, this is the third law, and let's start with it. Okay, let's go. It says, walk slowly but never backwards. On the first day of class, Jerry Oldsman, a professor of University of Florida, divided his film photography students into two groups. Everyone on the left side of the classroom, he explained, would be in the quality group. They would be graded solely on the amount of work they produce. On the final days of class, he would tally a number of photos submitted. Sorry, man, I'm just trying to figure out something here, so, okay. He would tally a number of photos submitted by each student. 100 photos would be a rate A, 90 photos a B, 80 photos a C, and so on. Meanwhile, everyone on the right side of the room would be in the quality. You know, I'm trying to do something, guys, and I'm gonna really apologize because what I'm trying to do is getting something here in my screen, and when I'm trying to read it, you know, the words just go backwards. Okay, so let's start again, and then I'm gonna edit this. Okay, welcome back again. This is Roosevelt Vargas, chapter 11 from the book Atomic Habits. Walk slowly but never backwards. On the first day of university, Jerry Olsen, a professor of University of Florida, divided his photography students into two groups. Everyone on the left side of the classroom, he explained, he would be on the quality group. They would be graded solely of the amount of work they produce. On the other final day of class, he would tally the number of photos submitted of each student. 100 photos will be a rate of A, 90 photos B, 80 photos C, and so on. Meanwhile, everyone on the right side of the room would be in the quality group. They would be graded only for the excellence of their work. They would only need to produce one photo during the semester, but to get an A, it had to be nearly a perfect image. At the end of the term, he was surprised to find that all the best photos were produced by the quality group. During the semester, these students were busy taking photos, experimenting with compositions and lighting, testing various methods of the dark room, and learning from their mistakes. In the process of creating hundreds of photos, they honed their skills. Meanwhile, the quality group sat around speculating about perfection. In the end, they had a little to show for their efforts other than unverified theories and mediocre photos. It's easy to get bogged down trying to find an optimal plan for a change. The fastest way to lose weight, the best program to build muscle, the perfect idea for a side hustle. We're also so focused on figuring out the best approach that we never get around of taking action. As Voltaire once wrote, the best is the enemy of the good. I refer to this as a difference between emotions and taking actions. The two ideas sound similar, but they are not the same. When you are in motion, you are planning and strategizing and learning. Those are all good things, but they don't produce results. Action, on the other hand, is the type of behaviors that will deliver an outcome. If you outline 20 ideas for articles you want to write, that's motion. If I actually sit down and write an article, that's action. If I search for a better diet plan and read a few books on the topic, that's motion. If I actually eat a healthy meal, that's action. Sometimes motion is useful, but it will never produce an outcome by itself. It doesn't matter how many times you go talk to the personal trainer, that motion will never get into the shape. Only the action of working out will get you the results you're looking to achieve. If motion doesn't lead you to results, why we do it? Sometimes we do it because We actually need a plan to learn more. But more often than not, we do it because motion always allow us to feel like we're making progress without running the risk of failure. Most of us are experts at avoiding criticism. It doesn't feel good to fail or to be judged publicly, so we tend to avoid situations where that might happen. And that's the biggest reason why you slip into motion rather than taking action. You want to delay failure. It's easy to be in motion and convince yourself that you're still making progress. You think, I've got conversations going with your potential clients right now. This is good. We're moving in the right direction. Or, I brainstormed some ideas for that book I want to write. This is coming together. Motion makes you feel you are getting things done, but really you are just preparing to get something done. When preparation becomes a form of procrastination, you need to change something. You don't want merely be planned. You want to be practicing. If you want to master a habit, the key is to start with repetition, not perfection. You don't need to map out every feature of a new habit. You just need to practice it. This is the first takeaway of the first law. You just need to get your reps in. How long does it actually take to form a new habit? Habit formation is the process by which a behavior becomes progressively more automatically through repetition. The more you repeat an activity, the more your structured brain changes to become efficient at that activity. Neuroscientists call it long-term potentiation, which refers to the threading of connections between neurons and brain based on the patterns of activity, which each repetition, cell to cell, signaling improve and the neural connections tighten. First described by neuropsychologist Donald Hebb in 1949, the phenomenon is commonly known as Hebb's law. Neurons that fight together wire together. Repeat a habit leads to clear physical changes in the brain. In the musicians, the cerebellum, critical for physical movements like plucking a guitar, string, or pulling a violin bow, is larger than it is non-musicians. Mathematicians, meanwhile, have increased gray matter in the inferior partial lobe, which plays a key role in the computation and calculation. Its size is directly correlated with the amount of time spent in the field. The older and the more experienced the mathematician, the greater an increase in the gray matter. When scientists analyzed the brains of taxi drivers in London, they find out that the hippopotamus, a region of the brain involved spatial memory, was significantly larger their subjects than in a not taxi drivers. Even more fascinating, the hippocampus decreased in the size when the driver retired. Like the muscles and the body responding to regular weight training, particular regions of the brain adapt as they are used and atrophy as they are abandoned. Of course, the importance of repetition is establishing habits that was recognized long before neuroscientists began poking around. In 1860, the English philosopher George H. Lewis notes, I learned to speak a new language, to play a musical instruments, or to perform an unaccustomed movements. Great difficulty is felt because the channels through which each sensation has to pass has not become established. But not sooner has frequent repetition cut a pathway than the difficulty vanishes. The actions becomes more automatically become so automatically that they can be performed while the mind is otherwise engaged. Both common sense and scientific evidence agrees. Repetition is a form of change. Each time you repeat an action, you are activating a particular neural circuit associated with that habit. This means that simply putting in your reps is one of the most critical steps you can do to take encoding a new habit. It is why the students who took tons of photos improved their skills, while those who merely theorized about the perfect photo did not. One group engaged in an active practice, the other in passive learning. One's in action, the other in motion. All habits follow a similar trajectory from effortful practice to automatically behavior, a process known as automaticity. Automaticity it's the ability to perform a behavior without thinking about each step, which occurs when the neuroconscious minds take over. It looks something like this. And then what I'm going to try to explain it's a graphic. And in this side you see automaticity, and the other one you see repetitions. So the more you practice, there's a habit line right there, and the more you practice, the habit becomes like in your mind. So it says something like this. In the beginning, in point A, the habit requires a good deal of effort and concentration to perform. After a few repetitions, point B, it gets easier, but it still requires some conscious attention. With enough practice points, the habit becomes more automatically than conscious. Below the threshold, the habit line, the behavior can be done more or less without thinking. A new habit has been formed. So basically, it's the more you practice, the better you become. That's basically all. Very simple to find out. It says, on the following page, you will see what it looks like when researchers track the level of automaticity for an actual habit like walking at 10 minutes each day. The shape of this chart, which scientists call learning curves, reveals an important truth about the behavior change habits forms based on the frequency, not the time. Walking 10 minutes a day. So you will see like A that says automaticity, and the other one, and I do apologize about my pronunciation, and the other one days. So it says the more you repeat, the more automatic is going to be. That's basically all. Okay? It says and remember, if you want to buy the book, just go in the link below, and then you can buy it on Instagram. Amazon. The link is right there. One of the most common questions I heard is, how long does it take to build a new habit? But what people really should be asking is, how many does it take to form a new habit? That's it. How many repetitions are required to make a new habit automatic. There's no magical about time passing with the regard of habit formation. It does not matter if it's been 20 days or 30 days or 300 days. What matters is the rate in which you perform the behavior. You could do something twice in 30 days, or you can do it in 100 times. It's frequency that makes the difference. Your current habit has been internalized over the course of the hundreds, if not thousands of repetitions. New habits requires the same level of frequency. You need to string together enough successful attempts until the behavior is firmly embedded in your mind and you cross the habit line. In practice, it doesn't really matter how long it takes to a habit to become automatic. What matters is that you take the actions you need to make progress. Whether an action is fully automatic, it's or less important. To build a habit, you need to practice it. And the most effective way to practice habit is to adhere the third law of behavior change. Make it easy. The chapter that follows will show you how to do exactly that. Chapter summary. The third law of behavior change is make it easy. The most effective form of learning is practice, not planning. Focus in action, not being in motion. Habit formation is the process by which a behavior becomes progressively more automatically through repetition. The amount of time has been performing a habit is as important as the number of times you have performed it. Okay guys, thank you so much for listening to this chapter. Remember, if you like what you listen today, don't forget to subscribe in my channel, share it and stuff like that. Thank you so much. For my people on YouTube, bye bye. And for my people in Instagram and Facebook, just to let you know that I'm gonna be here all the time, just making things happen for you. Thank you so much